What's up, guys? Today I wanted to take a moment to talk to you about some investments that you absolutely should not be making right now or probably ever. And so this stemmed from a recent interaction I had with somebody. It's actually in my Facebook group. Good dude, means well, but we disagreed on some things, and so I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit. So the first one I'm going to mention is MLMs, or multi-level marketing, which, for the record, most multi-level marketing places will tell you they're not multi-level marketing because that's illegal, or network marketing, right? So there's loopholes, as with everything. But the reason that I'm kind of passionate about this one is back in 2015, actually what got me started in real estate, so I guess I should say thank you, is Amway, which is known as a multi-level marketing, network marketing, it's a good program. It's been around forever. I mean, my dad even did it at one point in life. But there's several flaws with it. So you get into this program, there's great educational benefits, and they sell some products, and they have all these opportunities for you to make money, but they really pitch you that in order to really make money, the best way to do it is to build a team and recruit other people to join the program, right? And to join the platform. And so as you're working on this company, you're building your business, you're building your team, you're building whatever, and that's what's bringing you income, right? So that's part of why these get dubbed as multi-level marketing, because you're bringing someone into the fold, you're teaching them, you're getting paid a piece for what they do, and then if they recruit someone, you get paid a piece for what both of them do, and so on and so forth. So the more people you bring into the business, the better it does. Now, some of these have great products. Some of these do not. Now, you've heard of some of these different companies, like Roden & Fields, Sensi, Amway, the new one, Milet Management Group, which falls under World Finance Group, powered by World Finance Group. Now, look, any of these will tell you they're not a multi-level marketing company. So I'm not going to tell you they are, right? Because I don't know all the legal ins and outs. But I'll tell you the whole, if it quacks like a duck, walks like a duck, you freaking figure it out for yourself. All right, so here's the deal. Education's good for all of these. They build you a platform. They're even a good spot to help you learn how to build and become an entrepreneur. You can learn a lot of valuable stuff from these different companies. They're often oversaturated. Like, unless you're getting into one of these programs at a fairly new into it, you're like one of the first into Amway or whatever, which you're not. They've been around for years. The odds are that a lot of people have gone through it, and the amount of people who are interested in it, I don't know. I mean, it's just not going to be as easy for you to build this platform as some people are saying. So just keep that in mind. Just because the guy in front of you was successful doesn't mean you will. Now, you might be more successful, so that's a personality thing. So, take it or leave it. Just make sure you know what you're getting into. They're really not a unique selling proposition, a lot of them. I mean, some of them are. Some of them are awesome. Some of them are not awesome, right? So, let's take a pause and talk back to, Amway. They sell some cool energy drinks. They sell some cool supplements. They sell some cool stuff on their websites. There's not a whole lot that they do that's, new or unique or fancy or whatever. You could find a lot of that stuff, maybe a different brand of it, in a lot of different places. So it's not like a super unique selling proposition. It's kind of as we mentioned, it's oversaturated. So look, some ways to know if you're maybe getting sold on one of these: if they focus on recruiting and building a team more than selling your product or helping or services or whatever, they might be one of these companies. And a lot of these are very, very military friendly. So maybe they even target service members. I mean, we've all seen the Sensi cars driving around base, and some of these other businesses. There's the running joke about military spouses getting into these programs. Some of them are good ways to earn extra income. Some of them are just kind of, I don't want to say Ponzi schemes, but similar, right? Like, you get in, you get all your friends in, they get all their friends in, it goes through the base, everybody's in this new business mold. Whoever the first, second, third person was into it, maybe they make some money, maybe they don't make some money, and then they bail, maybe they don't bail. It is what it is, right? So maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. I'm not saying, but I'm not a huge fan of the whole multi-level marketing thing. So if they repeatedly tell you that they're not multi-level marketing, if that's part of their pitch, that they sound like multi-level and they're not, I mean, I would be kind of worried if they're feeling that part of their business proposition to you is to inform you that they're not what everyone thinks they are. Seems a little fishy, right? Like, I don't have to walk around and tell you that real estate investing is not a multi-level marketing scheme. It's not. So I don't have to tell you that. I don't have to, like, so just be wary of that. Look, so multi-level marketings, they have a place. You can get some cool education out of them. You can make some money with them if you're smart. I know people who've done very well. Vast majority of the time, they don't. So it is what it is. I got into Amway. I was in it for maybe 2 months before I was like, there's no way I'm going to do this anymore. I'm sorry. Like, this is just way too much on my plate, especially with like recruiting and everything else at the time. But it did get me in to Rich Dad Poor Dad, right? So it started me on the journey to becoming a real estate investor. So I can't hate on it. Now, the second one that I'm going to talk about is whole life insurance, or the infinite banking concept. If you've known me for a little while, you know I'm not a huge fan of this, right? Or universal indexed life insurance, or whatever else they want to call it. Look, especially if you're military. If you're in the military, you've got the SGLI. It's great. Now, there are some benefits to getting insured when you're young and healthy, but you can do that. I'm going in for term life insurance right now, and I've got a year and a half before my EAS, and that's plenty. My VA claim's not in. I'm still healthy per my medical record. I'm still good. Yeah, I'm a little older, but I'm going to get in. I'm going to get a great rate. Now, to put this in perspective, I had a whole life insurance policy for my wife through First Command, which I'm not a huge fan of. If you're getting into First Command banking stuff, or they're reaching out to you, come talk to me. There's a reason they're not allowed to talk to you until you're E5. Like, just come ask me about it. I've had, they're not great, they're not bad, but there's other options out there. So I got into this whole life policy for them, for my wife. The policy was for $50,000, and it cost like $60 a month. Now, the new policy for my wife and I, term, each of us $500,000, and it's going to cost us $70 a month. So $10 a month more gets both of us 10 times what we had for just my wife. Now, sure, the difference is that both of our policies end when we're 60 now instead of until death, but the reality is I don't plan on needing life insurance past 60. I plan on being able to take care of all that stuff for myself. That's 30 years to prepare myself financially. I think I'll be okay, hopefully. If not, then whatever, it is what it is. So, yes, with whole life, you get some benefits as far as cash value, being able to hold on to some of the cash that's in the real estate, or sorry, you get distracted by a neighbor, some of the cash that's in the life insurance policy. But the reality is this: you have to super fund that. So if you don't have the money to just jumbo fund and dump a ton of cash in so that you're automatically able to pull that cash value out, then the whole life insurance policy is not for you, right? Because it takes, the fees are high, the time it takes to build that $50,000 policy that we'd had it for 4 years, and we had less than $500 in the policy. So like, the cash value is nothing, and here we are paying a solid amount year over year over year, and cash value is still not even worth half of what a quarter, 20% of what I've put into it over the last 4 years. So it takes a while to get to that point. So there are some instances where whole life or universal index life insurance might make sense for you. Just be smart about it, guys. Make sure you know what you're getting into. Don't just assume that it's a good investment. And definitely make sure that whoever you're talking to about it tells you about their fee structure, right? Make sure if they're a fee-only person, they probably, they're probably going to be a little bit more upfront about this life insurance, and they're not going to tell you their commission. Like, to me, that's iffy, because the way, if you want more information on this, because I don't want to just spend the whole video on this, the College Investor has a really good link or article out on this that really explains the fee breakdown, and how if you do term and invest the rest, you'll be better off than if you do whole life and you get the cash value or whatever. Now, again, if you can dump a ton of cash in, that's great, but if not, it is what it is. So if you want, I'll post that link down below to the College Investor. He's got a great article that explains it, and this is why I'm going with term life for me and my wife, and we're going to invest the difference. Now, the third investment strategy that you should never use is anything that involves liquidating your TSP. If somebody's pitch to you when you say you can't afford it is to liquidate your TSP, fucking run the other direction, right? Because almost nothing has lower fees and rates. Even self-directed IRAs, which can be a great strategy, you shouldn't roll your money into that until later, right? Now, you could roll it in and invest in real estate, and maybe you do better, But I'm telling you, the tax benefits, especially the 5% matching contribution for the thrift savings plan, and the tax benefits, and the fact that it's growing interest-free, you know, depending on if you use the Roth or whatever, the benefits for the TSP are incredible. The fees are lower than freaking anything. It is the plan for you to dump your money into the Roth or traditional if you want, but I prefer Roth, TSP, and just let it roll. Now, later on, if you want to roll it into a self-directed IRA, be my guest. There's a lot of awesome benefits with that. You can lend private money. I'll tell you how to do that. I mean, shit, we could do a deal together. You can lend money to yourself. You can build businesses for yourself. You can pay for things for yourself. Not for yourself, but like other businesses that have stuff to do with you. There's a lot of cool ways that you can use self-directed IRA income or money to invest in really powerful strategies. But I don't recommend doing that until you're leaving the military. And even then, you got to be really careful, because self-directed IRAs can have a lot of fees for rolling over. They can have a lot of fees in the account. And again, watch out for this. They can have very high commissions when you move that money over. So there's probably a reason. If somebody's pitching you on the self-directed IRA, you need to ask what's in it for them. You need to know, like, you need to tell them, like, show me what your commission looks like for that. Why are you recommending this to me, right? Be skeptical. It's your money. Nobody cares about it more than they do. Or more than, sorry, nobody cares about it more than you do. It's your money. So if they're pitching this to you, be very skeptical, be very cautious, understand all the fees, understand their commission structure and all that stuff. Now, if you bring it up and they are honest with you, okay, cool, that's a totally different story. But be careful of people pitching stuff like that. Number 4, basically anything that is pitched with I'll PM you, I'll text you, I'll message you, whatever, off the side. Now, this is something that comes up a lot. I see this in my Facebook group, and I block it very, very quickly. I even wrote on this. I guard this in my Facebook group. So look, every week I post this hashtag. I do the hashtag, but I'm holding the camera with the other hand. Hashtag Free Speech Friday. And I'm starting to decide whether or not I'm going to keep doing that, because it's getting very spammy with people just, it's not even self-promoting. It's supposed to be like self-promotions, but it's getting to the point where people are just like pumping affiliate links in and all kinds of random crap that's not a self-promotion and not actually bringing value to you guys so much as just trying to get you to pay them. And somebody posted, I saw like 2 or 3 different comments where like they had basically, instead of saying like this is what I do, they were like, I have this great money opportunity, it's like $500 and you can get into all this stuff for, it's gonna make you tons of money, like great income stream, whatever. And when people asked about it, instead of answering the question, all he said was, I'll PM you, I'll message you, right? So my first red flag is the moment somebody's trying to pull me off the platform to answer that question, makes me think they don't want other people to see what they're talking about, because it makes me think they don't want other people to be able to poke holes in it or talk people out of it. Right? So that's very red flaggy to me. What's even more red flaggy is that the same person a few comments down was they had effectively, like, somebody was commenting about some, I don't remember the whole thread, but like somebody had mentioned what they're kind of looking to do, and this person had commented like, oh, like this? Here, I'll PM you. And it wasn't like, hey, I'm looking for information about this. It was like they commented on someone else's message saying, I'll message you about this. It was very like, you know, hey, come on, man. Like, if somebody's messaging you to pull you off the platform, be very skeptical. And I see this in a couple of Facebook groups. There are Facebook groups that I'm a part of where that's what they say. Like, I'll message you, I'll message you, I'll message you. And if you try to get an answer on the platform, like, hey, what's your commission on this? Oh, I'll message you. Like, nothing gets discussed on the platform. They try to pull you off the platform. Red flag for me. And number 5 is almost anything that requires a phone call to sell. So if the price isn't listed online, big red flag. If they're not willing to discuss price with you without being on the phone, big red flag. And here's why. Because if they're not willing, so in coaching courses for people who sell courses and sell programs and sell services, they tell you anything over maybe over $1,000, maybe over $2,000, depending on who you talk to, anything over $1,000 or $2,000, they recommend that you get people on the phone for high-ticket closings, right? So nobody's going to buy a $2,000 program online. Maybe they will, but it's a much smaller percentage. So they recommend that you get these people online so that you can talk, or on the phone, so that you can talk to them about it and walk through their emotions and sell and all that other stuff. So if somebody's telling you they don't want to talk to you, they have to talk to you over the phone or in person, there's a very good chance that what they're pitching you is very expensive. Now, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with $2,000, $3,000. I've paid $5,000 for a coach. Like, nothing wrong with that kind of investment and stuff. But if somebody's coming to you and they're like trying to get you on this phone call, just be wary that it's probably more expensive. If you can't find a price anywhere, it's probably more expensive than what you want to pay, especially if it's not something that was important enough to you that you were looking for information from them, right? So just be aware of that. All right, so in all of this, I forgot, I just saw it on my notes. I meant to tell you that if you're not in the Facebook group already, you should go. So it's facebook.com/groups/military millionaire. Definitely go join. There's a link down below as well. Go join the Facebook group. It's growing very fast. Every freaking month we grow. But it's a great place to get all of your questions answered and really get feedback and polls. And if you got some self-promoting to do, we'll throw it in that Friday post. Don't be spamming people. I'll block you. But it's a great area for the community to really connect and be able to talk amongst each other and share stuff that's working for you, or share concerns you have, or ask questions you have, and really see how we can help each other. And that's why I love the Facebook group. So definitely go jump into it. Look, so these were 5 investments that I don't recommend you make. Now, I'm not saying they're always bad. I'm not saying you shouldn't make them, but just be cautious, right? If something doesn't feel right, it's probably not right. If they're really pitching, oh, well, all your buddies are doing it, all your service members are doing it. Well, here, I wrote this down. I forgot to mention it for the MLM. Oh, all these military veterans are doing it, whatever. Yeah, they're also buying Mustangs, Camaros, iPhones, 15 XXX, all other sorts of other things that they shouldn't, right? I don't know what the 15 XXX was. That was a note for me to say something, but I forget. So look, just because all your buddies are doing it doesn't mean it's a good investment. In fact, it's probably not if everybody's just jumping into it, right? And just because if they focus on recruiting, if they're not willing to talk to you about their commission, walk. If they're not willing to talk to you, like publicly answer questions, and they feel like they have to pull you off the platform so that no one else is around to talk to you. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's more personal to jump on a phone call or whatever. Like, I'm all for scheduling a call, but the whole, like, I'll PM you, that seems super sketch. Like, why wouldn't you just post a link in Facebook? We all know you can do that. So just be wary of all these things. Pay attention, watch out, and don't lose money in something that's not right for you. Now, look, if you're getting pitched on some of this stuff and you got questions for me, hit me up. I'll tell you what I would do. I'm not going to say I've always made the right decision. I mean, I got in Amway at one point. Now, again, they have done well for themselves over the year. It could be a good platform, but it wasn't right for me at the time. So just understand what you're doing, understand what you're getting into, be smart about it. And yeah, I hope this helps some of you avoid some investments that, these are different kinds of investments I could talk about. Like day trading is one that I probably should have mentioned on this that I'm not a huge fan of because of, in fact, I don't even know why that's not on here. Probably should be. Not a huge fan of day trading with all the taxes and fees. Stay open-minded to stuff, guys, but always be somewhat skeptical about new opportunities, right? If it's a great opportunity and it sounds too good to be true, there's probably a reason for that. Now, have a great day. Let me know if you guys like the walking around and sitting at the park videos, or if you prefer the normal background in the office. I'd really would love your feedback on some of that stuff. But if you haven't done so already, subscribe. Let me know what content you want to see next and what investments you will never make. I would like to hear what other investments are out there. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.